What was it like for you to be swept by fame?
Well, it was amazing because it's all I ever wanted. I started out life with very low self-esteem and stuff. And I thought, oh, if only I could get the world to love me, everything will be fine.
Actor Richard Chamberlain has died. He was 90 years old. The three-time Golden Globe winner died at his home in Hawaii from complications following a stroke.
It's fascinating to me to try to find ways to expand myself, to enrich my relationships, to enrich my work by using more of what I am. And that's a process of daily discovery that I find really illuminating and fascinating.
Richard first burst onto the scene in the 60s with his role as the handsome Dr. Kildaire.
It's a massive renal aneurysm, inoperable.
When I became suddenly rather famous in Dr. Kildaire, it was like all my dreams come true. And just working on the show was like all my dreams come true. But we were working so hard. We did about 36 the first year and 34 the second year. And then in the little time between seasons, the MGM would put me into little films and stuff. So I never stopped working. And I think that helped me keep my head.
The next decade would see Richard take on the big screen with roles in films like Julius Caesar, The Three Musketeers, and the Oscar-winning film The Towering Inferno.
Every piece of wire I put in that building is strictly up to code, inspected and approved.
Facing a new part is always a time of devastating insecurity because as an actor, I feel that I always start from zero. It's one reason I've never been good at cold readings and things because I have no idea until I've worked on a part for a while who I am.
Richard became a mini-series mainstay in the 80s with shows like The Thornbirds and Shogun.
Isn't that the same as a mercenary? Isn't that what you are? A pirate and the leader of pirates?
No, sire. I am not a pirate. The Portuguese and Spanish will tell you that because we're at war.
I thought it was such a masterfully done film. First of all, it's based on this novel. It's just incredible read. If you've not read Shogun, run to the bookstore and get it. It's a wonderful read. So the material was great and rich and new to America because America didn't know anything about Japan at that time. And it was so beautifully done.
Both projects earned Richard Golden Globes, and in 1988, he was the first to bring Jason Bourne to the screen.
I loved the time to really get totally involved with the other actors, with the director, with the characters, with the story, with the crew. I mean, you really get to be a family. And I like spending that time. It becomes more and more like your real life. And acting gets, in a sense, easier because you more and more become the character as time goes by.
Later in his career, Richard made several guest appearances in shows like Will and Grace, Nip Tuck, and Desperate Housewives.
You know, I always regretted the way things ended.
How does working in the business now compare to back in the day?
Well, it's very different to be a kind of guest on a show because they're a family. And on Desperate Housewives, I got on with everybody really, really, really well and felt very much at home there. But on some of them, the family is a family and you are a guest. And so it may not be as homey as it is when it's your show, of course. When it's your show, it's just great.